Good day, everybody. This is Ying Yang in California with Morsels of Thought number 1577. Today it is Sunday, and on Sunday we read a story. Today's story is The Dirt Merchants. The Dirt Merchants by Henning Morales, and we are on page 56 right now. We have been through a lot of stuff. All right, so 9:16 a.m. Spencer was waiting in the lobby with the other carless trainee. The noise coming from the mystery room was a mix of impromptu speeches, singing, banging of chairs, and banging on walls. Spencer looked over to Rose for a reaction. She looked at him matter of factly and said, "Oh, they're just getting motivated. It's like sports. You know how those football players get all jacked up to play. You'll see." The other trainee seemed baffled by it all. It reminded Spencer of sports. It smelled of his broken baseball dreams, where it was just the guys and it was rowdy. The two girls in the office were like the one girlfriend of a teammate that insisted on hanging around and her strange friend, both untouchables. 9:30 a.m. Yeah, just the light a little bit. Light. Need more light. Need more light. Need more light. Let there be light. See how it looks? That's what the. Oh, let there be light. Ay, ay, ay. That's better. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to myself. 9:30 a.m. The trainees with cars started filing into the lobby. Frankie was following the trainees from the parking lot. Joe stared down Spencer as he walked into the lobby. The trainers started to cherry pick their trainees and lead them into the mystery room, the room where the ruckus was coming from. Joe walked in first and Spencer went in fourth. The room was a 20 by 34, so sorry, the room was a 20 by 30-foot meeting room with wood paneling on the walls, cheap fluorescent lighting on the ceiling, and dark brown industrial carpeting on the floor. There was a small desk and chair in the corner, a chalkboard on the wall, and that was it. The walls were lined with young men smiling, laughing, and congratulating the trainees, evidently for not escaping. The room was called the Pit. They were all using strange words and phrases. A young deadhead went around asking, "Hey, pal, how's your attitude?" A guy who looked like Jesus kept suggesting, "Your attitude should be like Tony the Tiger." Great! Frankie kept repeating, "Don't be a cockroach." Sean squawked, "What's that dead fish handshake?" Ah. A sharp looking, clean cut muscle head went around the room warning, "Don't lay any goose eggs." A tall, blond, goofy looking guy demanded, "Juice, get fired up." Bill Wozniak, the guy who was in the office training the day before, now dressed in a t-shirt and jeans, shouted, I believe in the power of Liddell tools." One of the two girls, who was troll-like, cautioned, "Don't come back here with any donuts." The trainees stood out like sore thumbs, on their faces a combination of bewilderment and amusement. Spencer chose to be amused. He could sense what was coming. To him, it looked like fun, although ridiculous. Is there any money in this? 9:46 a.m. Suddenly, all the noise stopped. The car's "Shake It Up" that had been covered by the shouting was now the only sound. Then the music stopped. All of a sudden, the staffers started to whisper an affirmation in harmony. "I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the burning desire." They repeated it in the faintest whisper. "I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the burning desire. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the burning desire." Then a louder whisper. "I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the burning desire. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the burning desire." Then they started to strut around Mick Jagger style, still whispering, but louder. Then the snapping started, jazz style, like the Jets in West Side Story. I got the juice, snap. I got the fire, snap, snap. I got the juice, I got the fire. I got the burning desire, snap, snap. The whispering turned into chanting. I got the juice, I got the fire. I got the juice, I got the fire. I got the burning desire. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the burning desire. The trainees stood against the wall silent, and all the staffers were now strutting and snapping and chanting in the middle. They came then came the uh-huhs and the all rights. Every time the chant got a little louder. I got the juice, uh-huh. I got the fire, oh yeah. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the burning desire. I got the juice. I got the fire. Oh, yeah. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the burning desire. Louder. I got the juice. I got the fire. Oh, yeah. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the burning desire. Baptist style now. I got the juice. I got the fire. Oh, yeah. I got the juice. I got the fire. I got the burning desire. Now it was loud. Some people were clapping. Some were banging on the walls. Juice, fire, burning desire. Juice, fire, burning desire. Suddenly, everyone began clapping and screaming. Juice, fire, burning desire. Juice, fire, burning desire. Certainly the boss can't approve of this. Juice, fire, burning desire. Juice, fire, burning desire. The door swung open, over. Jim began pumping his fist and joining in. Juice, fire, burning desire. Juice, fire, burning desire. Finally, the chanting stopped and the trainees broke into applause for Jim. How's your attitude? Great. Trainees, we know this may seem a little weird to you, but we don't care. What's to say what's weird? Society? Is society going to pay you $100 today? No, but you can do it here. This is how we get pumped up. It takes motivation and a desire to make money. It takes a burning desire. The minimum you should make in a day is 100. There are guys here who make more than that. There are guys here like Kenny and Mike who are in the office training and are on their way to 10,000 a month. There are 13 other guys running offices now. I'm rich because of this business. Not all of you are going to make it, but you all have a chance. Everyone gets a chance. You all have your goals and quotas. Now get out of here. We settle up at 7. The mob ran out of the pit, through the waiting room, into the parking lot. The trainees followed helplessly. Oh, wow. Penny Morales, I was surprised about that. So, anyway, there we are. Okay. The staffers began to yell out one at a time. Milk jug, milk jug, milk jug, milk jug. Spencer laughed as he jumped in Paul's cutlass. He had lost track of Joe during all the commotion. Attitude, desire, goals, belief. What do these things have to do with money? 21 mostly older beat-up cars and vans pulled into the Milk Jug Deli on Route 46. Want anything, Spencer? Paul the mailman asked. Nah, man, Spencer replied, knowing he only had $5 and wanting to save it for lunch. All right, be right back. The small Milk Jug Deli became overrun by the peculiar band of motivated merchandise movers. Yoo-hoos and piled-high roast beef sandwiches were the most popular brunch for the group. Spencer watched the scene from the car, unaffected by it all, anxiously wanting to get on with it already. These guys just don't seem to get that I'm down for anything. Just let me get to it, whatever it is. The overweight, scruffy, long-haired, slovenly mailman came lumbering over to the cutlass with a yoo-hoo, a big sandwich, a Coke, and a pack of Kents. This guy's a mess. Why didn't I get one of the cool ones? Play it cool, get whatever info you can, learn what you can, and move on. The door slammed shut. Paul placed the bag down next to him, reached into the glove box, and pulled out 2 3x5 index cards with printing on them. Here, Spencer, take a look at these. This is all you need to know how to make money with us. Read it over and I'll explain, said the big guy, proceeding to unwrap the sandwich. He took a huge bite out of his roast beef sandwich. Can't we do this while we're driving? I want to get to it already. I gotta wait till you stuff your face. Don't you know you're a fat pig? It's not even 11 in the morning. Shut up, Spencer. Don't blow it. This could be good. It may blow, but it could be good. Where the hell are we going anyway? At school, Spencer's friends were a closed circle of the six coolest, best looking kids in school, and only the best looking, coolest girls could hang around. No one else was allowed in. Outside of that group, they really didn't socialize. Even at parties, they kept to themselves. It wasn't that the group went out of their way to be rude to the other kids. They just basically ignored them and avoided lengthy conversations. Spencer wouldn't be seen with someone who disregarded his appearance like this. He kept thinking of Jim Braun and the 4 or 5 cool and successful looking guys from the office. It's the only thing that kept him from ditching the guy. Seeing as they were in Lodi, 5 towns over from home, Spencer wasn't as concerned. If they had been in Teaneck, he definitely wouldn't be seen in this dirty old cutlass with a plump mailman sloppily eating a sandwich. He shook it off, looked down at the cards. Card number 1, the 8 steps to success. Number 1, be on time. Number 2, have a good or great attitude. Number 3, set your goals. Number 4, plan your work and work your plan. Number 5, work your territory correctly. Number 6, go the extra mile. Number 7, bring goods in. Number 8, rehash. Card number 2, the 5 steps to a presentation. Number 1, pitch. Number 2, story. Number 3, merchandise contact. Number 4, close. Number 5, rehash. It might as well have been in a foreign language. The combination of ditching most of the 11th grade and the non existence of sales or success courses at public high schools caused Spencer to draw a complete blank. Paul took another bite with his mouth full said, Def Leppard is the coolest band to hit planet Earth, man. Have you ever heard riffs and beats like this, man? The new British invasion. Listen to this, man. Huh? Yeah, I guess so, Spencer mumbled. The Cutlass had a standard tape deck, but Paul flipped on the aftermarket amp and Pyromania blasted through the speaker system. Then the air guitar began. Loser. Spencer tolerated Paul, enjoyed the music, stared at the cards, and waited for Paul to finish the sandwich. 11:15 a.m. The mailman and the troublemaker were the last to leave the parking lot of the Milk Jug. Number 11:31 a.m. The duo made their way toward Route 80 and pulled into the Exxon station off Main. Are we there yet? Hey, Spencer, these 5 steps to a presentation, put that aside. I'm going to walk you through those in the field once we get to our territory. Let's go through the 8 steps. Paul began to mechanically explain the 8 steps to success, just listing them and briefly explaining the importance of each step. Spencer tried to listen and get as much information as possible, but he could tell that the guy was more interested in his yoo-hoo than putting the tape back in. Like any teenager with a short attention span, Spencer blacked out most of what was said. To Spencer, this was a summer job. He wanted to make some money, maybe buy a car. That was it. Jim Braun and some of the other guys intrigued him, but listening to this guy was like listening to a teacher in school, knowing that none of what he's saying has anything to do with what interests you. This guy's gonna tell me about success. If he can show me how to make money, I'll listen. Otherwise, I'll wait until I talk to the big boys on all this success stuff. 11:32 a.m. The phone rang in the Lodi office. Rose put her gum in the ashtray and answered cheerfully, American Wholesalers, this is Rose. AT&T operator, there's a collect call for Jim Braun from Frankie. Will you accept the charges? Yes, we'll accept the charges. Rose immediately transferred the call to Jim. As per strict instruction, collect calls were always accepted. Collect calls were the only way that American wholesalers called in from the field. When there was a problem that couldn't be solved on the spot, Jim wanted to know about it. Everyone had to check in once a day as well, after 3:30 for the midday pep talk. He didn't want his guys fumbling around for change to pour into payphones for 1 minute of talk time. That call might take a while. Many of those phones didn't work anyway. The time alone it would take to go from store to find someone willing to change $3 is time you're not pitching. The phone bill was the biggest expense for American wholesalers, and collect calls were 90% of the bill. He wants me to take him home, Frankie said. He didn't seem mad, just perturbed. What? You guys just got out there, Jim replied, still smiling. I'm telling you, Jim, I did like you said. I didn't stop at the milk jug. I didn't stop for gas. You said that this kid looked nervous, and you were right. We headed straight for our territory. His car overheated in the traffic on the Whitestone. Seems it only needed some water, and she started up again. But while we were waiting for the tow truck, he started going through the boxes, asking questions. It's really hot out here already. Heat was getting to us on that bridge. Says he doesn't want to sell tools. Jim went right into character and began talking faster and louder than usual. You cockroach, you're looking for a reason to blow off the day because of the heat. When I was in the field, I never let a trainee talk me into bringing him back on the first day. Not once. Don't go all the way out to Jamaica. Just work Whitestone. Tell him that's the way it is. But don't blow him out of the water. He and that kid Spencer came together. Spencer has a great attitude, and even though he has no car, I want to give him a chance. If you get into that threatening black belt act, we'll lose both of them. Frankie responded almost as mechanically. But Jim, there are other cars working Whitestone today. I saw Cuddy and Gianni coming off the off-ramp, and Hank Graziano's guys with those flaming handbags. That's very interesting. Handbags. Only losers make excuses. You can make money or you can make excuses, Franklin. Jim responded in a calmer, joking tone, complaining that there are too many guys in the same territory. That's TikTok, you flea. Just get 10 off and get back here. All right, Jim, I'll do what I can, Frankie said, looking at the ground, kicking some pebbles. I know you will, Jim said, reassuring him. Be the hitter you are. Don't come back with less than 10. Frankie hung up and walked over to the LeBaron. Joe was leaning against the driver door, smoking, squinting his eyes as if to communicate that he was suffering a lot. Joe, I need you to hang in there, pal. I can't go back without at least moving 10 pieces. That's the least we can do. Only the worst cockroach would come back in with single digits. We can work right here in Whitestone. Come on, pal. I ain't selling no tools door to door. You know how hot it's going to be today. My sister's car's broken down. What the hell? Joe was being as straight as he could without pissing the guy off. Come on, man. Don't be a girl, Frankie said it, smiling while putting his hand on Joe's shoulder. Your car's going to be fine. We're just running that AC. We were just running that AC in all that bridge traffic. We'll leave the windows down. I told you we can work this territory today. Frankie was squeezing his shoulder a little too tight. Joe could see he wasn't going home, and he pushed as cocky teenagers do. I ain't selling stuff, Joe responded, kicking some gravel. Frankie was at his limit. He had a short fuse and really was a black belt. Being the youngest of an abusive 8 brothers had helped develop his fighting skills. Being the only brother to go to college had kept him out of jail. His sharp wit could cut you right down to size. He remembered what Jim told him and held his tongue. He never was and never would be again this flexible with a trainee. Don't be a putz, Joe, he said with a smile, as a big brother would say it to a little brother. He let go of Joe's shoulder. I'll tell you what, just drive. I'll do all the pitching today. You just drive. Let me get my 10, so there will only be one loser pulling into the office today. Fair enough? Who knows, you may even change your mind. I'll do it, frankly, but I ain't changing my mind. This ain't for me. Just don't touch me again. Fair enough, said Frankie with a smirk on his face. Joe got back in the car and began what would become the shortest sales career in history. 11:45 a.m. The Cutlass pulled into a gas station on College Point Boulevard in Queens. Spencer looked up from the 355 car that had been puzzling him on the drive over the GW Bridge through the Bronx over the Triborough and onto the Grand Canal, while side one and half of side two of Pyromania blared from the aftermarket 6x9s on the back deck. Didn't we already get gas? Does this old guzzler eat that much? No, man, Paul chuckled back. We're going to set up. Grab those two boxes from the back. Set up what? The loud music and general confusion had drowned out the rattling sound of the tool sets that were stacked in cases in the back seat. For the first time, Spencer noticed that there was merchandise in the car. The unlikely duo got out of the car, reached into the back seat, grabbed a couple of small heavy boxes, and walked to the back of the car. Paul popped the trunk, and there it was, a full display of socket sets, wrenches, different kinds of pliers, and screwdrivers were strewn around the trunk of the Cutlass, along with cheap aftermarket stereo equipment. I'll fix the display. You open those two boxes right there. Use this wire cutter, said Paul. Spencer didn't say a word. He followed instructions like a soldier as a great mystery was unfolding in front of his eyes. Is this fat schmuck gonna sell this stuff out of the trunk of this Cutlass? Couldn't be. Spencer began to think back on the speeches and everything he'd observed in the office. Was it that he wasn't paying attention, or did he not care and just wanted to make money? All he could remember was the good feeling he'd had with the whole thing. It didn't matter now. If this loser can sell and make money at this, I can definitely do it, but I doubt he can. Just look at him. Okay, Spence, it goes like this. The first thing you do is pitch. The pitch is the first thing you say to someone. I like to say, can you use a good bargain? Sounds funny, but it works. All you want them to do is respond. As soon as they respond, before they have time to think, tell them your story. The story you tell is not as important as how you say it. Tell people it's an overstock, so you got to get rid of it. Tell people that the warehouse caught on fire, so there's nowhere to store it. Tell them that the company is going out of business and we need to move this merchandise cheap. It doesn't matter. It's not a lie. It's small talk. Once they find something they want to take home with them, it won't matter why you're here. You're just two traders doing business. Traders. This was cold sales, direct sales, street sales, the rawest form of business that exists, dating back to biblical times when merchants sold carpets, blankets, and spices on the streets in open markets. Spencer was mesmerized. Not only that everything he was saying made total sense to him, but also that the mailman knew his stuff. Instead of making the mistake that most cocky kids do, interrupt and ask a bunch of stupid questions, he waited, listened, and observed. He had developed the habit of observing and not talking much when he was around the not so cool kids and in classes he despised. He spent most of his time being mad at the world. Since his dream was stolen, he'd spent a lot of time thinking, contemplating, observing. After you tell them your story or during the story, they will usually ask a question. Okay, so he's giving instructions as to how to make the sale. And we are going to pause here and come back to it next week. Um, this is a fun story. I love it. It's cool. Okay, so here we are. I will talk to you later. I hope you've enjoyed the day, part of the day. I am trying to make you feel that you are thinking morsels of the hot. Okay? Old Kinderhook. Old Kinderhook.